I am Rachel Moody. I am 34 years old. I have stage 4 sigmoid colon cancer with metastatic to both ovaries and my liver. And I've got 3 amazing kids. They're actually all turning, the oldest is going to be 15 in September. The middle one's going to be 9 in 10 days in July. And the youngest one is knocking on the door. She's going to be 4 in October. I was a full-time wedding planner. It was about 4 days before I found out. I like lost my taste and I lost smell. But I wasn't sick at all. It was just really weird. I was at my parents' house and I was drinking water and it was making me really sick. I could not bear to drink water or eat anything. So those were symptoms that happened super fast. Um, and then I just wasn't eating. I lost my appetite. And my stomach was just hurting like it was that time of the month for girls. Just kind of like, bloating, some like ovarian pain, just like our normal stuff like headaches and we're cranky or moody and stuff. So I just thought it was that because it was that time, that time frame. But then it was getting hard to even lay on my stomach. I tried to take a nap because I was very fatigued for like just no reason. I'm like, I don't understand why I'm so tired. I can't even drink water. I couldn't even lay on my stomach without pain. I thought I was dehydrated. I was sweating so much. I have never felt this pain before in my stomach. And it was creeping up from down like my left side all the way up into like my ribs, like, and it looked like I was probably like maybe like 22 weeks pregnant. Just I was so bloated. My stomach, I didn't know what was going on. I even Instacarted really quick, like Powerade, electrolytes, anything, because I could not drink water without gagging or wanting to throw up. I just couldn't get anything down. So I was just kind of like on a liquid diet, trying. I don't remember going to bed that night because I was in so much pain. And the next morning, I woke up and my stomach was just huge. I was in pain, and I decided I'm just going to go to the ER because this is just weird. Maybe I just have like an infection or something, and I just need to get antibiotics. I found out on 11/21 in the emergency room, just having stomach pain. They decided to do a CT scan and then they put me into a room and just flat out told me. So it's very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. A hard pill to swallow. I laughed at first for sure. And I was laughing, crying. And I'm like, I think you have someone's wrong, like images. Like, do you have the right person? Um, yeah. So found out, definitely was in shock. Um, and so I've had a couple procedures now. Got a liver biopsy, which I wish that on no one because you're awake during that procedure. It's awful, very painful. Um, and I've had definitely it was a partial colonoscopy to find out how big the tumor was. And it ended up being we were not able to do the full colonoscopy because it was right there. So got rupturing everything. Um, and it was decided that evening that if we had to do emergency surgery, either whether it was going to be in the ER, which was not ideal for it. We wanted to have a robot so that way it's less painful, I guess, and a lot more healing is easier that way. So we got lucky enough that someone got canceled their surgery that Friday, and we had the robot for all day. So got super lucky with that. I was so grateful. So on 12/1, we went in to have the procedure. I had to make a lot of decisions right then and there before I went back. We didn't talk about like my hysterectomy. We just talked about taking the ovaries out, and I had to decide in front of my family and all the doctors that we would just do a total hysterectomy. So I just had to give up the chance of having any more kids to save myself. And I decided I have 3 beautiful children, so let's just do it. I'd rather not have to go back in and take things out or have it spread even more. So we did total hysterectomy, and then also a colostomy bag, which they tried to explain to me. And I was like, I don't care. Let's just do the surgery and we'll take care of it afterwards. So that's what we did. I think I was just so numb by it and like paralyzed by it that I was like, I'm just gonna keep going. Like, we're just gonna keep going. Like, that's all I can do. Like, I want answers. I want to know how much it's taken over, like why this happened. But before I can get there, I know we've got to get what we can out. So I was like scheduling my liver biopsy right away. I was scheduling more scans right away. Like, I didn't want to pause at anything because then I felt like I was not, I like to be I guess it's kind of like a control thing. And it blew my mind and I was out of control. Like, so I'm like, okay, well, we're just going to keep going. We're going to keep doing stuff. Let's just keep going. Yeah. So that's kind of, I was just numb. I think it took me, my whole family was not like, yeah, everyone, it affected everyone in so many different ways. So it was hard for me to navigate because I'm like, I'm a mom. I got to figure out how to tell my kids, and they're all three different ages. So like, I need to figure out how to tell them so they can cope with it. So they understand why mommy's going to the doctor all the time, all that stuff. So I was just definitely numb for like a long time, I think. Um, yeah. So I
Yeah.
think I don't know. I was just really numb I just wanted to keep going, whatever we can do, whatever I can do to make it better. I was just kind of in disbelief. My family was in disbelief. We just didn't know how it happened. Like I said, we just wanted answers. So I was ready to do whatever it took in every day. I was like, get me scheduled for this, book me for this, we'll figure it out. Um, and in the meantime, I was still like also on like like a liquid diet because I just couldn't eat anything or else we were going to obstruct the tumor and I would have taken me to like they were describing it as like an emergency C-section they would have to do in order to take everything out. And I'm just like, so we were just like, I just wasn't eating and sleeping and drinking because nothing, it felt made it worse. It was just awful. We will not do a resection until I'm in remission. So, because it'll just be another surgery that we have to do down the road in case something pops up in my colon. And I'm just like, I don't want to go through that. I don't want to have another like scar or have to go through the other side. And then I don't know. I'm just like, we're just gonna keep it until we know that we're good, until we know we're good. And so at first so it's like her name's Susie. The kids call it Susie. Susie Stoma. So she's like a whole nother child. Like it's like having a newborn, like having to change it's like diaper all the time, but it's a bag, like before you like when you get up or right before you go to bed. So it's like a huge chore. At first, honestly, I was like, okay, I got the hang of this. And then I think a couple days after like post-op and I was finally able to go home, I got so like mad at it. Like I just was so over it. I was so mad at Susie. I just didn't want like I don't know. It was a lot, but then I've been able to cope with it and try different products. There's over like 500 different products for a stoma, medical wise, and I'm just like, I don't know. I like, and everyone's stoma is different. So it's just been like a learning curve, what works for me, and it's taken definitely a long time to figure it out. And I was like, we're gonna sell our boat because I don't want to go on the boat and have to like find somewhere to like, I don't know. I don't want to figure it out. And I don't know how it's gonna look in a swimsuit or like when it gets full. It's just like, I don't know. It's like so it's like been challenging, but then they say like you still have to get out and do your normal stuff to keep living. It's all about your quality of life, how you persuade, like see it in order to keep going. And so I'm just like, okay, we just got to figure it out. So I've been able to just figure it out. I mean, it was nice during winter when you just got to wear sweatpants and sweatshirts, to be honest. um, and so now it is what it is. I just have to find clothes that fit and work and pants. And it just is what it is. Yeah, it frustrates me sometimes, 100%. Because it gets in the way. It just gets in the way, but it's okay. It's fine. It's keeping me alive. Finished my first round of chemo, which was 12 cycles of oxaliplatin. And that's also called the full fox. Um, so I did that. Super proud of that. It was very, very hard. Chemo was very hard. I'm gonna get emotional thinking about it just because I was able to finish it and it was hard. It was so hard. Like one of the hardest things I think I've ever had to navigate. I think going into chemo, I was so scared that I wasn't going to be the same mom to my kids, and that was my fear. 'Cause I just want to be as good as a mom as I can through all of this, and that's super important to me. Um, so starting it and looking into all like the side effects and stuff, I was just like, I'm not going to be able to like brush my daughter's hair or get her ready for school, or I'm just not going to be the same. And I was like so fearful of that. Like I could care less about like the side effects, but in the way I knew the side effects would create a different schedule for me and the kids, I think that was the hardest part. Um, but we managed it. Um, it was like I don't know, like the first treatment I did, we were just ready for it. We brought like blankets, like pillows, like all this stuff, like prepared for who knows what. Um, and so with the oxaliplatin, you instantly get cold, so you can't drink anything cold, like or it feels like dry ice, like on your hands, in your mouth, like nothing cold. Everything has to be like hot or warmed up. And so the first round, my best friend went with me, and we did it. And at the end, we're like, "Oh, that's it, okay." And then I was started to get like really dry mouth, and so she went to go get me some water, and we both totally forgot I can't have any like even lukewarm water out of the faucet. Like it has to be hot. And so she brought it over to me and I took a huge chug of it, and instantly all my nerves like felt like it was closing at my throat. I couldn't breathe. I was wearing a necklace, and so that was like burning my neck and my throat, and then my port was like pulsating, the nerves behind it. So I thought they were gonna have to take my port out, like go to the hospital and get my port out. Like it was so scary. Like, and we're both just like everyone remembers us from that. Like, no cold water today, right? For 6 months. Like, just they'd walk by like, no, you started, right? No cold water. I'm like, yeah, we know. We know. So it was very interesting the first time, and that was very scary. Because I'm like, if this is how it's gonna be every time, or it was very scary. But we got through it. The rest of the time, every 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 treatment was different side effects. So that was the sucky thing, is that I couldn't predict anything. So I couldn't expect, oh, it's going to go like this. I'm going to be tired this is how long I'm going to be tired, or I'm going to go home and I'm just going to sleep. Oh no, like every time was different. Like every single time has been different. And so that's where it really sucked, not knowing, once again, not being in control of something. It was very scary. But there were just like scary times at night where I would get brain fog. So I don't remember like the first 3 days of chemo when I do it. Like I'll have to take pictures or write notes or take videos, like because I don't know who would visit me, or I don't remember the kids the last 3 days. Like brain fog was super hard, and that was scary. There were times that I couldn't function, and it just made me sad that I couldn't take care of my kids. But also you can't cry, because then the nerves in your face make it worse. It hurts so bad. So then I would cry, and then I'd be in pain, and it was just like, I don't know, it's just too much. So I was just surrounded by friends. I had a really good support system community, which was so amazing. I honestly could not have gone through it without any of my friends or my family at all, at all. They they were troopers in all of it, and I'm forever grateful for them and still am. So, which is wonderful. But treatment was, I don't wish that upon anyone. And now I have like permanent like neuropathy, and it just keeps getting worse. So I have so much numbness and tingling in my hands and my fingers that I can't like feel them. And same with my feet. It's just been that's been very hard. So that's just my big consequence from it. So yeah. But that's because I wanted to finish it and I just wanted to say I did it. And it was the last one. So I was like, I'm not going to give up right now after almost 7 months of this.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Right now, I am on a break until I'll go in and get more scans. And then I follow up with the surgeon, the liver surgeon at OHSU. We'll review the scans. So right now so the chemo did a really good job about keeping, my colonoscopy looked great. There's nothing there, so we're super happy about that. But my liver, um, they shrunk a really small, which is great. My lesions and my tumors, which is great, but also a double-edged sword because now they're harder for them to take out. So we are at a pause right now to see if they grow. And if they grow, it's okay because then it's easier for them to see and to remove them for that liver surgery. Um, so I'm just doing nothing for the month, which is weird. Honestly, I didn't know how to feel when I went into the appointment and he told me all this stuff. And I just feel like I sat there and like fake smile because I'm just like, okay, like, yay, this is great. But then also like we're just taking a pause for a month. Like I didn't know how to feel about it because we've been go, go, go since November. And I'm just like, okay, all right, I should be really excited, but it's also hard to be excited because I'm just fearful, like, what if they grow so fast again? Or what if they take over more? Um, just because how fast it grew in the beginning. But also there's no new lesions or tumors, which is great. We just got to deal with like the liver, which is fine. I'm accepting of whatever we have to do. Cut some of it out. You can live with whatever. Let's just do it all. Um, but so we're doing that, and then I have MRIs, CT scans on the 5th. Follow up with him on the 7th. I have my first laparoscopic procedure because he wants to go in my abdomen and actually get like a visual and everything for himself. And then right after that is he's gonna jump in and we'll schedule the liver surgery or it'll be the HIPEC surgery. Because I did have how bad my tumors were on my ovaries. He's worried about peritoneal cancer, and I did have some spots there. So I've been preparing for the HIPEC surgery as well. I definitely have joined more of like some like Bible studies with one of my friends who would come over. So that was fun to do, and we would look forward to doing that. Even like I couldn't remember half of it sometimes because like the classes would be on the day I get home from chemo. But it was fine. It was still fun to sit there and like look at things differently. I'm definitely like just more grateful and more positive attitude. I just feel like things have been like lifted, and I have accepted it that I can't control everything. And so I feel like at ease. Like I don't know how to describe it, but I just feel like lighter. So I just feel lighter and I'm not like I'm just accepting of things and I'm more positive and better outlook on things and I'm not as angry as much or like so I'm like, oh well, you can't control that. It is what it is. Like I had something happen to me and I couldn't control it and it still happened, like no matter what I did. So I was like, I just feel like lighter in life with this and more accepting of things. I used to be a believer of like, for me, if if I'm not feeling good or whatever, it's like, oh, suck it up. Like you can do it. Don't suck it up. Go in and, whether it's lab work or you have a headache or something, like just don't let it sit there and fester forever. If you're having problems, just go get checked out. And colonoscopies are not that bad. Honestly, it's the prep. So do not be afraid of the whole thing because you are loopy. It is the prep that is the worst. So do not be afraid to get a colonoscopy. I know a lot of people are because of that, of the procedure. And if anything, it's the prep that you should be nervous about. But other than that, and then also just look for support. Like you have to tell your family or friends how you're feeling, or else they don't know how to help. That's a big thing for me is I'm someone who likes to help everyone. And this was like, it was very overwhelming to accept help from other people, but I did. And I think it made us all stronger. So don't be afraid to accept help. Even if you're someone who says you can do it on your own, people don't want you to do it on your own. They want to be there to help, and they're not asking to be a burden or thinking you're a burden. They're asking because they truly care about you and they want to help you. So yeah, always accept the help. Tell people what you need, or else they can't help you. And literally just live life. Don't hold in so much grudges. You've got one life to live, and you just got to accept it and make the best out of it and just keep going.